Sports presents Thursday night of the NBA. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and two Hall of Famers. Doris Burke here at the table, and on the sideline, David Aldridge. Let's check out the Western Conference standings right now that we're here in the new year. You take a look at Los Angeles. Here in the early part of the season, they've acquired the third best record in the conference.
And right now for the Clippers, they had a few critics coming into the season, and now I don't think they have any. This is a club ready to not only make a deep run, but possibly win it all.
Well, this is their goal. There's no doubt about that. For what many expected of them so far, they have not disappointed.
And before we get going, let's hear from David Aldridge on the sideline. David?
Hey, Kevin, we all are well aware of the Miami Heat and their particular culture. Udonis Haslem, who's been one of the mainstays of this franchise throughout its history, said, "It's a warrior's mentality, being part of something bigger than yourself and sacrificing for your brother. You have to be committed mentally or your body will never follow. It's demanding on and off the floor." Kevin?
Everyone talks about the Heat culture. It is special. David, thank you. A lot of teams with a lot of new players, Greg, this time of year can be a real challenge to mesh.
No doubt, getting everybody on the same page sometimes, it can take time. And then you have to build that trust. Weathering the storms together will obviously help you do that.
Here are the five for the Clippers. Wing pairing for him, it's George and Leonard. Batum is out there with Ibaka, and it's Beverly in at the point guard position. And for the Heat, out on the perimeter, it's Robinson and Butler. Here we go. In the middle, it's Olynyk and Adebayo. And it's Hero into the point. So the Clippers win the tip. Ibaka outside. Ibaka sets the pick for Leonard. It's good.
Well, you're working the two-man game with Kawhi Leonard as your primary target. That's the first guy you need to stop.
Here's Hero. He's been putting up the points on a very steady basis, averaging around 17.5 points a game. Beverly against Robinson. Beverly the pass to Leonard. Nice move. He can't hit that time. And Miami the other way now. They're moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of the Nuggets.
The failure to make shots on a consistent basis, that's going to put you behind the 8 ball all night.
I thought most of the shots they took were low percentage looks. The key in the NBA is, can you get your best scorers into their best spots? They didn't do that.
Misses the three, and he used the pump fake well there, but he couldn't capitalize. And Kawhi Leonard, one of the league's most dominant rebounders, Doris, from the wing position.
Fourth man gets paid. That was his motto from back in high school and college. It's all about hard work and earning your keep, according to Kawhi.
Here's Beverly. Jimmy Butler making his last shot. George passes to Ibaka. The shot's good on the assist by George.
Well, Serge Ibaka has really worked on his frame since he entered the NBA. He is someone who can power his way through contact.
Passes to Adebayo. Over Ibaka. Adebayo with the bucket.
Boy, the work ethic on the offensive glass just refuses to give up on that possession.
1:57 left in the first quarter of the game. Beverly dishes to Ibaka. Great D that time from Adebayo. Heat have gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. Here's Hero. Pass to Adebayo. Batum against Butler. Pocket 6. Can't hit the turnaround jumper. And here is Los Angeles now. Up top, Leonard. He's guarded by Adebayo. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
When the story of Kawhi Leonard is told, it will be about the hard work being the secret of his success. Here was a guy who was not the most vaunted prospect in either high school or college, but Oh boy, he kept his eyes on what he was after, and he kept working.
And the Heat going with the whole new group on the floor. Big group substitution here for the Clippers. Zubac is checked in for Ibaka. Morris comes in for Nicholas Batum. Reggie Jackson's checked in for George. And it's Williams in for Patrick Beverly. And Doris, you were talking about Leonard's work ethic. Going back to San Diego State, he used to come in at 6:30 in the morning. No lights on in the gym, so he brought his own lamps. I mean, the guy was dedicated.
No doubt, Kevin, and that has been the through line of his career. First to practice, last to lead. He has that hunger to improve, the drive and the desire to put in the time to be great. There's a price to be paid, and he's willing to pay it.
Luke Kennard, he's checked in for Kawhi Leonard. Here's Iguodala, and he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. That's on Reggie Jackson.
Well, I think the veteran and championship experience of Andre Iguodala is critical. This guy is a versatile forward who is well known for being a defensive stopper.
And the first one drops. And some controversy last season. Andre Iguodala traded to the Grizzlies. We know he didn't report, Greg, just stayed in the Bay Area until a trade could be worked out to Miami.
I'd call that a power move, Kevin, no doubt. Iguodala, a respected vet, wanted to play for a contender, and he got an extra year and $15 million in the deal.
Jackson, and that one is good.
And with a quick first step, Jackson remains a threat to drive on any defender.
The shot and game clock separated by 4. Achua, the pass to Dragic. No good. Excellent D there from Williams. In the corner, Kennard with it. Outside Jackson. And the last second attempt does not go in for him. And that does it for the first quarter. Clippers ahead, up by 5. Back after this from the American Airlines Arena. And we spoke to Jimmy Butler not too long ago about his teammates.
These guys work so hard, and they're young, and they're professional with it, that you're planting that seed early. So they can only get better, and they're learning, and they're gaining confidence because they're playing so well. So with me being here with these guys, we're special.
Well, Greg, it sounds like Butler has found happiness.
You know, people don't talk enough about fit. It's important to be in an organization and a system that maximizes your abilities. Butler is playing some of the best ball in his life and making everyone around him better.
And if you're just joining us, we've played through 1 quarter in this one. And taking a look at Los Angeles' performance here, what have they been doing or not doing?
What we saw in that first quarter, they won their matchups defensively.
I think across the board, a number of guys who've done a great job guarding multiple positions.
And a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. On the court for the Heat, backcourt guards are Dragic and Hero. Jimmy Butler is out there with Achua. And it's Adebayo in at the center, filling out the middle. The Clippers in the lead. Outside Leonard. On the wing, Batum. Leonard looking around. Driving the lane. And Kawhi Leonard at the slam.
Well, Kawhi Leonard is 230 pounds of nothing but pure strength. What a finish at the rim.
Here's Hero. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Greg, as a point guard, what is it you like to see from that position on the court?
I think first and foremost, leadership. It's so valuable at that spot. And, you know, you always got to have your head high because your teammates are feeding off what you put forth in terms of your body language and enthusiasm. So, you know, the typical stuff about organizing the offense and setting the tone on the defensive end, that stuff's important as well. But so much of how you carry yourself out on the floor when you deal with adversity and you know that you're going to, it is really paramount.
Here now, the Clippers. When this game is done, they'll be off to a...
Now, Paul George is an exceptional athlete and demonstrating his insane dunking skills there. Get this guy in the dunk competition.
Here's Hero. He's guarded by Williams. Hero, no good.
That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game.
Leonard with the bucket.
Man, have they been effective at getting the ball inside.
The Heat trail by 6. And here in the second, 2 minutes gone by. Pass to Olynyk. Butler on the wing. Olynyk, a screen on Leonard. Here's Butler. Takes it off the glass.
See, Jimmy Butler is able to move with a certain level of force coming off the screen. And because he does, he gets the separation he needs.
And taken with the 30th pick back in 2011, Jimmy Butler went from 15th man in Chicago, riding the end of the bench, to franchise player in the course of 4 seasons.
Andre Iguodala is checked in for Miami. Kendrick Nunn comes in for Tyler Hero. The Clippers also making some changes. Luke Kennard comes in for Nicholas Batum. And it's Patrick Beverly in for Williams. Now, here is Robinson. 8 points his last outing. Leonard with the steal. And here comes Leonard leading the fast break. Whistle blows. Bucket is good. And he'll have a chance at the line to make it a 3-point play.
I love his shot selection today. He set the bar for the rest of the team.
And Greg, it seemed in Chicago and Minnesota maybe Jimmy Butler wore out his welcome. Philadelphia, they had him and they had to juggle multiple stars. But, man, Miami, the Heat handed him the keys, and he has taken off.
And, Kevin, he's shown himself worthy, lifting them to a top seed in the East and himself into the MVP conversation.
Now, here's Nunn. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. Dragic gets the bucket.
Normally, it's Dragic providing the pass. Good to see him getting filled this time.
On the wing, Morris. Outside Leonard. Going inside. And Harkless pulls it down. The Heat trail by 4. Now, here's Achua. The dunk by Achua.
That is a product of pure effort, guys.
I agree, and that's nothing new coming from him, GA. He loves going to work on the rebounding, going to work on the board.
What about the decisive finish? Great timing, tremendous force.
And there's the basket. Whistle blows, and a chance for a 3-point play. Going to the line for 1.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
The Clippers have yet to miss from the free throw line. They're 3 for 3. The free throw good from Kawhi Leonard.
How about Kawhi Leonard? How many guys in the history of their career can say, I was an NBA Finals MVP at 22 and then an NBA Finals MVP at 27? Simply incredible.
Clippers leading by 5. Closing in on 4 minutes played here in the second quarter. It falls for his 7th bucket of the contest. He's 7 for 9. Nunn against Kennard. Nunn can't get it to fall. Leonard inside. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. Leonard's got the lead up to 9 now for Los Angeles.
Yeah, Patrick Beverly making it easy for his teammate to score.
He takes it in. No good on the last second attempt there. And so it's Los Angeles in control with the 9-point lead to end the quarter. They're feeling very confident, shooting the ball with great efficiency and dictating the pace. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Kevin, thanks so much. Kawhi, you seem to be so at ease out there. How much is that helping your game?
It's helping me out a lot. Just coming in the game relaxed, just with more intensity. I mean, my teammates are getting me involved in the offensive end. I'm playing great on defense. We just got to keep it up second half and not let it up.
Hey, Kawhi, thank you very much for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the second half momentarily.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show. Welcome back to 2K Sports, everybody. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. Let's talk about that first half. Kawhi Leonard is having one of those nights. He had 20 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 steal. And a little redemption for him tonight. In their previous game, he was not at his best. What'd you think, Shaq, about the first half we saw from the Clippers?
Listen, Kawhi's in his bag tonight, showing how a big difference maker he can be. The instincts, the high basketball IQ, the claw, he puts his team in a great position to win.
Kenny, what'd you think about Miami?
Well, after the field goal percentage they allowed in the first half, it's time for them to get tough. That's right, tough. If they're going to stay in this game, they'll need to turn this into a street fight. Get physical. Let some elbows go. Yes, let them go. And guys know they're going to be no more easy baskets in here. Let them know that.
And that wraps up the halftime show. Third quarter set to begin in just a few.
And if you're just joining us in this one, first half is in the books. 1 half to go. Kawhi Leonard really has his fingerprints all over this one.
No problems fighting his way to the rim in this one. A lot of points and close.
And part of that has to do with his mindset. He has been looking to push the action at every opportunity, and he has been in attack mode all night.
And we hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. We're halfway through the game. The Heat trail by 9. So for the Clippers right now, the guard set is Beverly and George. Ibaka is out there with Batum, and it's Leonard in at the 3 spot.
Boy, still a dependable shot blocker. That is what got Serge Ibaka playing time at the beginning of his career. Nice.
Great job of getting up the floor and creating early offense.
You don't give the defense any chance to set up. Sometimes you just love an easy look.
And what a unique career Serge Ibaka has had. Some incredible totals for him over the course of his career.
That's right, Greg. I mean, I think people would be shocked to know Serge Ibaka was the first player ever to make 500 threes and have 1,500 blocks. Hard to imagine nobody had ever accomplished that feat. Give credit to Ibaka. He changed his offense and added the 3 ball.
And it's the Heat with the ball after Paul George getting his 3 to go. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Beverly. Let's see some of the numbers here for Paul George.
And guys, it hasn't been pretty for him in the past 5 games. He's having one of those scoring slumps that all players go through at some point in the season. But I know he hadn't lost his confidence, and I expect this young man to get after it here tonight.
Now, here's Olynyk. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 9.5 points a game. And there's the foul. It's on Nicholas Batum. That is his first foul of the game. Jackson, he's checked in for the Clippers. Williams comes in for Patrick Beverly. Second half of basketball, just over a minute played so far. And it's Butler missing.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
And George gets it to go.
Oh, my goodness. Paul George under duress of exceptional defense. No problem.
Here's Hero. And the pass to Robinson. Dishes to Butler. And he makes that one. Frank, how special was it for you that you had your number 50 retired at UNLV?
You know, that's something that I can honestly say, as a kid, you dream about a lot of things, winning, you know, playing at the highest levels. That's something I never really fathomed, to have your jersey hanging up in an arena. That was a surreal moment, a really cool moment, and it was awesome to be able to share it with my family and friends.
And people probably don't know that you grew up in Las Vegas, so it was probably doubly special, wasn't it?
Exactly. Born and raised.
Now, here is George. 7 points in the game. Yes, that goes in.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Here's Hero. Basket counts. Hero's got 5 minutes.
Well, there's an unpredictability to his offensive game. He is always keeping the defense off balance.
All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin, thank you. There will be a subtle but significant change on the court this season. Wilson is now the official basketball supplier for the NBA and its affiliated leagues. In fact, they were the association's original supplier starting in 1946. Now, after a nearly 4-decade hiatus, Wilson reclaims that position. Guys, back to you.
We appreciate that, David. Thank you. And some changes here for the Heat. Achua, he's checked in for Kelly Olynyk. Iguodala comes in for Robinson. And it's Dragic in for Tyler Hero. And then for Los Angeles, Zubac is checked in for Ibaka. Morris comes in for Nicholas Batum. And it's Luke Kennard in for Jackson. Now here's Dragic. He's been a factor in their offense on most nights with his scoring average at nearly 16 points a game. Dragic against George. Launches it. Rebound by the Heat. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Andre Iguodala. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Yeah, way to get there first and be willing to absorb the contact.
Harkless is checked in for Adebayo. Clippers leading by 13. In the corner, George with it. With the drive. Rebound by Butler. Butler's got his 4th rebound in this one. Harkless the pass to Iguodala. And it's sent back by George.
Oh, George, tremendous vertical. How fast does he get off his feet?
Outside Williams. And he could not get that one to go. Out of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. This is his first free throw of the game. That's good from George.
I don't know if it's underplayed, but there's an all-around aspect to what Paul George does on a night-by-night basis. This guy is an elite two-way player. You can tell when he steps to the line the kind of confidence he has in himself. It's written all over his body language.
And so it's Los Angeles. Their lead at 15 going into the break. And we'll see if they can keep up their tremendous shooting they've been dialed in so far from the field. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Head coach Eric Spoelstra mic'd up along the sideline. Let's check it out.
It's got to be a sense of urgency right now, okay? Any kind of tip out or 50-50 ball, we got to own that. And then we got to communicate. I don't know, but it's got to be a real sense of urgency.
GA, he's begging his guys to be more assertive in all aspects of the game.
And in close games, Coach Spo is solid at knowing how to get his guys to just kick it up a notch.
And there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch.
I'd say there's little you can do to stop Paul George when he's got his game going. He has the lane to the rim, and you know he's going to finish.
The Heat trail by 17. Here's Hero. The dish to Robinson. Iguodala with the screen on Beverly. Dragic trying to get open as Iguodala. And Dragic with the basket on the assist from Robinson.
On the drive, Dragic's footwork really shines. His ability to make quick moves around the defense gets him to the rim.
Leonard with the bucket.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
Here's Hero, defended by George. And Dragic has it in the corner. Offline with his 3.
And I'll tell you, they're going to need more from this guy if they're going to cut into this deficit.
Here's Leonard. Here's George. And such a nice move to make the basket work. And the Clippers lead by 19.
Well, you have to respect the focus of Paul George, not letting the defense alter his shot.
Passes it to Hero. Now, here's Achua. Zubac's defending. There's Dragic with the three. Oh, drew the foul and almost hit the three-point bucket. But he'll go to the line to shoot three.
And Dragic came into the NBA with something on his resume that not many other rookies have. He has a ring from winning the Slovenian Pro League the year before he came to America.
Yeah, when you look at the balance of power between players and teams, Greg, does it feel like the players now have more say, more control than they used to?
No doubt. We're seeing more players demand trades, sign shorter contracts with opt-outs. And the irony of that is, in my era, our best players were fearful for the length of their contracts or the life expectancy of their careers, believe it or not. And these guys today, they understand their value. They know what they bring to the table, and they are utilizing that to the max.
Is that good, Greg, for the game?
I think so. I do think most guys want to win, and they understand that their legacies are going to be defined about whether or not they do.
Adebayo with the bucket.
And this is the level of intensity Adebayo brings. He's terrific at channeling that energy on the offensive glass.
Outside for George. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. George has got 22 points.
Looking to close it out. That one might have been the backbreaker.
Well, at this point, they're so far up, it would take a real collapse to give this game away at this point.
And now let's take a look at the New Balance player of the game, Kawhi Leonard.
And in terms of his shooting, this has been one of the more accurate performances you'll ever see. I mean, he's been in constant motion, creating a lot of good looks for himself. But still, even when you're wide open, you expect to miss some of the time. That has not been the case here tonight. This guy has made everything.
And as the star of this team, he knows he's going to be the object of the crowd's anger. A minute 50 left in the fourth quarter of this one. And here is Robinson. Back to Butler. Pass to Hero. Olynyk, a screen on George. And it's Leonard with the ball. He'll bring it up for Los Angeles. And George kicks to Batum. Back to George. Solid play in the low block, and that one's good. 24 points for George.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest. Just a total obliteration, if you will. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for the Clippers.
The differential in assists led to a lot of open looks, and it also helped to get more guys involved in the offense easy.
And they made the defense adjust, but they just couldn't come up with an answer.
And so this will now translate to 14 wins on the season.
And with the win approaching, they'll take the first game here of 2 that they'll play against this team. Nice to get that first one out of the way and set the tone.
The one player that really stands out, of course, in this one, it was a dazzling game for George.
What a relentless scoring night for this guy. In attack mode all evening.
Yeah, that's a great setup. Screen the defender off and let him elevate.
Oh, right. And wasn't the timing ideal? My goodness. The D with no chance to react.
The execution was simply flawless. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how you run that play.
Count the basket.
Making every effort to put this game on ice.
Well, just terrific teamwork. Each guy doing his part. You love what you're seeing from them tonight.
He's off on the first. Kennard, he's checked in for the Clippers. And he's good on the second.
You know, he doesn't shrink the lead as much as he should have. That hurts a bit.
Pass to man. They swipe it. Goes up. And it's Patterson finishing it off.
But the truth is they've had control of this game.
And I couldn't agree more. What makes it that much more impressive, they're doing it on the road.
There's the pass to Harkness. Back to Nunn. Ball stolen. 5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. That shot wide open.
And Jackson has become a reliable three-point shooter. That's a shot you got to respect.
Pass to Nunn. Over in the corner, Harkless. Pass to Akpala. A three ball. And with the rebound. So it's Los Angeles winning this one easily. A resounding victory for them. And Greg in enemy territory, no less.
And that's exactly right. But with the way they controlled the game and just completely took the crowd out of it, that's how to get it done on the road.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Hey, thanks, Kevin. PG, you guys look confident out there, and especially yourself. How were you so effective offensively?
I just kept moving. You know, within our offense, you know, the key is to move. You know, my teammates do a great job of setting screens and getting me open. You know, I just got to, you know, stay within offense.
Well, it was great flow tonight, and it led to a good win, man. Congratulations. Kevin, all yours.
All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, and the rest of our terrific crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening.